Welcome everyone. Today we are doing EQA Further Maths Non-Calculator paper 1, which is of June 2019. You can clearly see that this paper has maximum 70 marks and this is 1 hour 30 minutes long. So let me start with the questions. It says a straight line passes through 2 points negative 2 comma 13 11 and 1 comma 2. Work out the equation of the line. First thing is, it says we have to work out for the equation of line y is equals to mx. So what two values that we have to calculate is m and c, that is your gradient and the y-intercept. For gradient we know it's change in y over change in x, that is 2 minus 11 over 1 minus 2. This is the most common mistake that a student does, is that they missed out to use the negative sign. So this is already negative. So negative, right? And whenever it happens, there is a negative sign, negative number, you have to put it inside the bracket. Keep in mind, always whenever you are working with the negative numbers, you have to put inside the bracket to avoid any calculation mistake. So this will be minus 9 and this will be 1 minus will become plus. So 1 plus 3. So it will be, 2. So total will become 3, that is minus 3. Your gradient is minus 3. So put it here, you will get y is equals to negative 3x plus c. Now to calculate the value of c, you have to put either of the point. Just put any point, 1 comma 2. So put x is equals to 1 and y is equals to 2. When I put x equals 1, it will be minus 3 into 1 plus c and y is equals to 2. So this will be 2 is equals to negative 3 plus c and c is finally 5. So you can say that y is equals to mx plus c is y is equals to negative 3x plus 5. This is our final equation of the straight line. Moving on to the next question. Write 5 over 6a plus a over 4 and you just need to simplify it. And in order to simplify, we always take the LCM. On taking LCM, it will be 6a and 4a. See, here you can find the LCM, but I would suggest, like, if you're not aware, if you haven't done these things before, because are pretty near, we don't have much time. So a short trick is simple, just multiply these two. That's all you have to do. Multiply this one. Even the LCM is 12a in this case. But I would suggest, if there is a variable in denominator, always multiply. So I'm just taking it as a 24a. So to make 6a 24a, I need to multiply it with 4 and multiply this with 4 as well. So this will become 20 plus this will be 6a times 6a. So this will become 6a squared. So this is 6a squared plus 20 over 24a. Taking out 2 out as common from numerator. So 2 times 3a squared plus 10 over 12 into 2a. 24 can be written as 12 into 2 so that I can cancel out 2 and 2. So my final answer will be 3a squared plus 10 over 12a. So even if you are just multiplying, that's not your exact LCM, you can cancel out at the very end and you will get a very simplified answer. Question number 3. Work out the smallest integer value of x that satisfy this inequality. So any inequality is solved by just how we solve any equation. So if this is inequality, a minus 5x less than 26, so that means I need to isolate x. That's how we solve any equation. And to isolate it, I need to move it to the other side. So bring it there. Minus 5x less than 26 minus 8. 26 minus 8 will give you 18. Now divide both the sides by 5. Minus x less than 18 over 5. And because I need to isolate x, only x I need, and still I have a negative sign. So let me multiply both the sides by -1. Whenever we multiply both the sides with a negative value or divide both the sides with the negative value, we have to flip the inequality. That means x is now greater than -18/5. So basically, the smallest integer value will be, if x is greater than -18/5. 18/5 is approximately negative, or what, it's -3.6, yeah. So x is greater than -3.6. If x is greater than -3.6, so on number line you can clearly see, if this is 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -3.6 will lie here. And if x is all the values that is greater than, that means these are all the values. So the smallest integer value will be what? The next integer value that will come after -3.6. You are starting from here and started moving towards right, because x values are all greater than it. So the first integer that will encounter is -3. So that's why answer will be, the smallest integer is going to be -3. So that value is -3. Question 4 says p times x minus 1 plus 2 times 3x plus k is equals to 4 times x plus 2. And we have to calculate p and k. Now definitely we have one equation and we have to calculate two different variables. Then in that case, we cannot calculate particle values. Instead, we have to compare the coefficients. Comparing, that means keep left hand side as it is and try to convert your right hand side accordingly your left hand side, or your left hand side according to the right hand side. That means if you have x squared, x cubed, a constant, so bring x and constant on either of the side to compare. Let's see, maybe if I'm saying verbally it's not that clear, but when I'll solve it you get to know. First we need to expand the brackets. So p times x is px, p times minus 1 is minus p. 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times k is 2k. Similarly, I'll expand right hand side. So 4 times x is 4x and 4 times 2 is 8. Now on right hand side I can see I have x and I have a constant. So I need to bring all x on one side on left hand side as well. That means px plus 6x, I need to pair them up and the constants like this. Then the next is, from here I can separate out terms of x. That means taking out x as common, it will be p plus 6 plus 2k minus p is equals to 4x plus 8. Now that I was talking about that x and constants on one side and similarly x and constant on one side, so that I can compare them. I can compare the coefficient of x and x only. That means p plus 6 is equals to 4. I can do that. Similarly, I can compare 2k minus p and 8. I can compare constants and constants. So 2k minus p is equals to 8. From here I can say p is equals to -2. Here 2k negative 2, because p we have already calculated, equals 8. So 2k plus 2 is equals to 8. Bring it here, 2k is equals to 6 and k is equals to 3. So two values, p is -2 and k is 3. Moving on to the next one, solve cube root of 2 root x minus 10 is equals to 2. So definitely whenever we are solving equation, that means we are supposed to isolate the value of x. That means only x should be on one side. So whatever the extra things, we have to remove them. Above, for x, the main thing, the outermost has a cube root. So I need to, in order to remove it, I need to do the opposite operation. That means cubing both the sides. So I need to cube both the sides. So let me just write down proper step by step. So cubing both the sides, I can remove the cube root. So it will be 2 root x minus 10 is equals to cube of 2 is 8. Obviously, whatever you are doing on one side, you have to do on the other side as well to maintain the balance, to maintain the equals to sign. Then bring 10 to right hand side. So 2 root x, 8 plus 10 is 18. Divide both the sides by 2. So root x is equals to 9. Now still root is above x and I need to do the reverse operation. That means squaring both the sides. So when I square both the sides, it will give me x is equals to 81. So final answer is 81. Next is the transformation matrix 2ab negative b negative a maps the point 34 onto point 8 negative 7. Then we need to work out the value of a and b. Whenever we have transformation matrix that we have, and only the transformation I need to attach it. That's how we can do any transformation. So like the transformation matrix is already given, and if it's mapping the point this onto it, that means this is your original one and this is your transformed one. So the transformation matrix and the original point, again I'm repeating, the transformation matrix and the original point, you have to multiply them together. So 2a b negative a transformation matrix, multiply the original point that you have to transform, 3 4. This is equals to transformed point. Transformed point is 8 7. This is transformed, this is original, and this is transformation matrix. Now we know the, if only multiplication is there, you know how to matrix multiply. And even if you don't know, so let me explain you. Matrix multiplication is multiply horizontal, take horizontal row, that is row, and the column of the next matrix and multiply each element. So that means multiplying, because I have selected this one and this one, so I need to multiply 2a with 3 plus 4 into b. This we have to do. So that means 2a into 3, 6a plus 4b. Next, same thing. We have taken this row and this column and multiplied each element. Similarly, now I have to do the next one. That means taking this row and same column here. So negative 3 into negative b is 3 is negative 3b, and 4 into negative first element into first element and second element into second element. That's how we multiply. So 3 into negative b is negative 3 and 4 into negative a is minus 4a. Obviously this multiplication is equals to 8 1. The above multiplication is equals to 8 and the bottom multiplication is equals to negative 7. We have a simultaneous equation. We just need to calculate the value of a and b using simultaneous method. So let me use the elimination method where we have to make the coefficient of any one of the variables same. So first let me write down the variables down below. That means 6a plus 4b. Now I have to write down the variable a just below it, which is negative 4a, and negative 3b is equals to negative 7. Let me make the variable of 4 same, that is 4b same. So here I need to find the LCM of the coefficients of b. That is how we do elimination method. First we need to, okay, if you are aware of the elimination method, it's very good, and if you're not aware of that, let me explain it to you. Obviously, well, I assume you are aware, but still if you haven't refreshed it, let me refresh it. This 4, if you want to make coefficient b the same, so in that case you have to look out what coefficient of b has. It's 4b and it's negative 3b. So coefficient is 4 and negative 3 and its LCM is negative 12. So I need to, or just 12, subtraction addition will do later. So LCM is 12. So if I want to make 4 12, I need to multiply it with 3. But as I said, like in mathematics, whatever we are doing to one side, we have to do to other side as well to maintain the balance. So if I'm multiplying it with 3, I need to multiply this with 3, this with 3. How can I make 3 11? By multiplying it with 4. So multiplying this with 4, multiplying this with 4, and multiplying this with 4. Final equation will be 18a plus 12b plus 24 minus 16a minus 12b minus 28. Elimination is not all about always subtracting. You have to look out the sign. If already the signs are opposite, then there's no point of subtracting. You just add them. Ultimately, the main goal is to eliminate. That's why it's called elimination method. You're eliminating one variable. So how can I eliminate here? By adding them. So let me add them together. So 18 minus 16 is 2a. 12b minus 12b is 0. 24 minus 28 is minus 4. From here, a is equals to negative 2. If a is negative 2, put the values in either of the equation. Let me put it here. So I'll get 6 times minus 2 is minus 12 plus 4b is equals to 8. 4b is equals to 20 and b is equals to 5. So the final answer is going to be a is negative 2 and b is 5. Question 7 says a function is given by fx negative 2x and the domain is given from negative 1 to 0. The value of x lies between negative 1 to 0. Now fx is nothing but y, and here they have mentioned as well, and we know that in functions if we don't write y, instead it's actually f of x we use. So fx is nothing just y. So y is equals to negative 2x. It's x times 4 minus x and 2x minus 3. So here I can say that y is equals to negative 2x. If y is equals to negative 2x and it's between negative 1 to 0, that means I need to find straight line. I need to y is equals to negative 2x. I have to draw this straight line. Y is equals to negative 2x is what? It's nothing. The straight line is like this. Even if you don't know, just take some values because it's from negative 1 to 0. X is from negative 1 to 0. So just put first negative 1. You'll get y as 2. And when you put 0, you'll get it 0. So this is your straight line like this. Then the next is it's y is equals to 4x minus x squared. And x is from 0 to 3. That means till here. So put 0 here first. Answer is 0. Put 1 here. 4 into 1 minus 1 is 3. That means at 1 you will get 3. It's a quadratic one. Keep in mind this is x squared. So it's a quadratic curve you will get. So don't make it a straight line. Or try to join it like with the straight lines. When you put x is equals to 2. 8 minus 4, which is 4. So it will be here. Then put 3. So 4 times 3 is 12 minus 3 squared. 12 minus 9 is 3. So 3 here. So it's going to be like this. The next is y is equals to 2x minus 3. From 3 to 4. So put 3 here. So you will get same point definitely. Put 4 here. So 4 into 2, 8 minus 3, that is 5. That means that y will be 5. And since it's clearly a linear, so it's going to be a straight line. So I'll join it like this. So this is our final graph. Moving on to the next one. Apart from that, only they ask you to draw. Okay. Question 8 says ABC is a straight line. A is a point negative 4, 5. C is the point 20, negative 7. AB ratio BC is 5 ratio 3. That means AB is 5 parts and BC is 3 parts. So I can say XX, the value of each. So now we have to work out the coordinate of B. See, we can draw like this to better understand it. Here I can apply directly the section formula as well, but That's really not in your syllabus, so I can just use the conventional way of solving it. If I can divide it like this, then we know if I want to move till this point, a point like this, till this point, clearly if I'm moving in x-axis, the y will remain same. So whatever be this value, y is gonna be the same. If I move further, I still can say that y will be same. So y is negative 7. And now because I'm moving vertically upward, in that case y changes but x remains same. Keep in mind. Try to think it, try to picture it. If you are moving only in horizontal direction, the y will not change. If you are moving only in vertical direction, x will not change. Once you'll reach here, after this point, you're moving vertically upwards. So that means x will remain same. So this point is negative 4. So in this way, I can find the values of these points. Now just pay attention what I'm trying to say. Definitely when I drew this one, the two triangles are going to be similar triangles. Which two triangles? Triangle ADC. See, triangle ADC is the biggest triangle, and triangle PEC. If you see their base, the base side of ADC is DC clearly, this whole. And for triangle BEC, it's EC, that is this whole. And if I say the vertical, this is AD of ADC and DE of BEC. And we know that similar triangles or similar figures are those figures that have the angles same but their sides are in proportion, and each side, each corresponding side, the same, it bears the same ratio. That means if I divide DC over EC, the ratio is same as I would divide AD over DE. That means if I say that one side is twice of other, so every side will be twice of the corresponding triangle or corresponding figure. That means this is a triangle, this is a triangle. If I say this longer side is 4 times this is smaller, so that means this side will also be 4 times, this side will also be 4 times. That means that each side will bear the same ratio. So that's why I have equated them. The length of DC is what? If you are just moving in horizontal direction, so how much you have moved? From 20 to negative 4 you have moved. That means 24 units, because to move from 20 to 0, already we have traveled 20, and from 0 to negative 4, 4 more steps you are moving. So that means 24. So DC is 24 over EC, we don't know, is equals to AD. AD is what? That is negative 7 to 5 you are moving. So it's from negative 7 to 0, it's 7 units, and from 0 to 5, 5 units more. That means 12. So I can say it's 12. And at the same time, this is, sorry, BE, not DE, BE. So BE, we don't know the length of BE as well. Now let me see. We have other information given as well, that is AB ratio BC. That means this ratio, this is 5 ratio 3. That means this whole is 8 part and this is 3 parts. So we get to know the ratio of them. See, if I talk about the similar triangles, so DC over EC is equals to AD over DE. Similarly, AC is the length of ADC and BC is the length of the corresponding length of BEC. So is equals to AC over BC. And AB is 5 parts. So A and BC is 3 parts. So 5 plus 3, that means complete AC is 8 parts. So in place of AC, I can set 8 parts and BC is 3 parts. So I get to know what is the ratio of each. So I can write now that DC is for EC is equals to 8 over 3. So from here I can calculate EC as 9. E to C length is 9. Of this, the distance between these 2 points is 9. If I name this point as, let's say, this is -7. Let's say this point B, we have taken it as E. So distance between them is 9. So from 20 you have to move 9 units towards left. So it's going to be 11. And -7 we have already seen. So this point is 11, -7. Now we need to calculate the vertical one. AD was 12, we have calculated, over DE is equals to 8 over 3. DE is equals to 12 into 3 over 8. So this will be 2, 9 over 2. So DE is, it was BE. So that this length BE is 9 over 2, that is 4.5. If this length is 4.5, so obviously here X will remain same, only Y will change. So from -7 to 4.5 you are moving upwards. So that means -7 plus 4.5, because you are moving plus in plus direction. So answer will be -2.5, and final coordinate is 11, -2.5. So I can write down the answer as coordinates are 11, -2.5. Moving on to the next question. Question 9 says 2x times x squared minus 5x, the differentiation of it. First let me expand this. On expanding we'll get 2x cubed minus 10x squared. So this will be, 2 is already there. Now I need to differentiate x cubed and take out, always in differentiation we need to take out the constant out as common. If that constant is with the x squared, with the variable, or simple, the coefficients we need to take out, it will be x squared, differentiation of it. This will give you 6x squared. Why? Because differentiation of x cube is 3x squared. So 2 times 3x squared minus differentiation of x squared is 2x. Finally 6x squared minus 20x. Answer is D. Question 10 says factorize fully 6x squared plus 26xy minus 20y squared. See, in this, if you have either you have quadratic or this one, which is actually a circle equation, wherever you see the variable has 2 power over it, whether one variable or both the variables, in that case, and 3 terms are there, in that case always try to use the factorization method that we use in quadratics. That means the sum of the number should be the middle term, that is that multiplication of x and y, and the product of should be the same a and c. I can compare it with the quadratic, whereas I can say a is 6, b is 26 and c is -20. So I need to find two numbers, their product should be a times c, that means -120, and sum should be 26. So I have to find those two numbers, their sum and their product. Obviously if the product is negative, which clearly indicates me that one number is going to be negative, one is going to be positive. And if the sum is positive, that means definitely the bigger number is a positive one. There are so many factors possible. That means for 120, it can be 40, 3. It can be 60, 2. It can be 120, 1. It can be 30, 4, and so on. But now I can clearly see if I pick this one, 30, -4, definitely I'll get the product as -120 as well as the sum 126. So now we go by splitting the middle term. So writing 6x squared as it is, and how this is how we do by splitting the middle term. So 26xy can be written as plus 30xy minus 4xy minus 20y squared. Now same, we'll make the pairs. So on making pair, I can take out 6x as common. Inside will be x plus 5y. Here taking out 4y as common. Inside the remaining will be x plus 5y. Same thing, now in these two terms x plus 5y is common, so x plus 5y, and remaining is now 6x inside the bracket and negative 4y. So negative 4y. So this is how we can factorize. So final answer is x plus 5y times 6x minus 4y. Moving on to the next one. A cone has a radius r centimeter, perpendicular height h centimeter, and slant height l centimeters. The curved surface area is 60 centimeter squared, 60 pi centimeter squared, and length is given as 3r. So length is actually 3 times the radius. Work out the value of h. Give your answer in the form of a root 10. Okay. And it's also mentioned that a is an integer greater than 1. So here, because what else we have, like the main thing that we have is the surface area of a cone. So the important thing is only curved surface area they are talking about. They're not talking about the total surface area. In a cone, we have two different surfaces. One surface is a curved surface, and another surface is a circular one. This is cone. This is your first surface, and this one, that is the conical part, that is called the curved surface, and its area is equals to pi rl. So surface area is pi rl, and this is equals to 60 pi. So that's why I equated it. Cancelling pi and pi, rl is equals to 60. Now we have another relationship, that is length is 3 times r. So what I can do, in place of length I can put 3r. So r remains as it is, and in place of l I can write 3r. This is equals to 60. Now multiplying this together, 3r squared is equals to 60. Now isolating r, so divide both the sides by 3. I'll get r squared as 20. Now I'm not taking root as of now. Why? Because finding r or finding l is not the question. The question is we need to work out the value of h. See, in a cone, if I draw a cone here, this is a perpendicular, this one is radius, this is slant height, the l is actually the slant height, and they are asking you the vertical height, which is h. Clearly it forms a right triangle. So to calculate h, I need to apply Pythagoras theorem, which says h squared plus r squared is equals to l squared. This is the Pythagoras theorem. Now let me put the values here. We know the length is 3 times r. So what I can do, in place of h, I can isolate h, so it will become l squared minus r squared. In place of l, I can write 3r squared, 3r, so 3r whole squared minus r squared. This is 9r squared minus r squared, and h squared equals 8r squared. Now r squared is given as 20, so I just need to put 20 here. So h squared is equals to 8 times 20, which will give you 160. So h is finally root 160. This can be written as 4 root 10. How can we simplify a surd? If you're not aware how to simplify surd, let me explain it here. It's simply 160. You just need to prime factorize it. So prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 2. Taking this pair out, this pair out, and root 10. I assume you know that it's just a brush up thing. So 4 root 10 is the answer of this one. And final answer, that means it's matching with this. So we can say that final answer is 4 root 10, where a is your 4. So rest of the questions I'll upload in the next part. So that's it for today. If you want to access the worksheets, then you can access our app, and the link is in description box. So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a great day.